A personal brand is the cheat code to financial freedom. I cannot think of another business model that will lead and equate to the level of financial freedom that you can attain if you build a successful personal brand and coaching business. There is nothing that remotely compares. So let's dive into exactly why and what you need to do to be successful with this. So the first thing is that you only need a phone to get started. And this is something that's very basic, but let's really just dive into how powerful this is. Think if you wanted to start with wholesaling real estate. You would need the money to acquire the property, the money to rehab it, and then to sell it and make profit. With a personal brand, you need an iPhone. Most of you have an iPhone. Like I've had an iPhone, so when I started my personal brand, I just set up with my phone, started recording, and I used a tripod that cost me $15 that I've had since 15 to record gym videos. So it has been genuinely the lowest barrier to entry business that has ever come around. All you need to do is sit down and be able to speak on something that you have knowledge on. And we're going to dive more into that in a second. But it's such a low cost to entry. And as you build your coaching business, you will acquire expenses, but it's still one of the leanest, most profitable businesses that you can get into. Nothing even compares or comes close to it. Now, the second thing is you can do this anywhere in the world. I am currently in Sweden and making money just as if I was in the US. There's no difference as to where you work. Most of the world is English speaking. I have people in India who watch my content. I have people in Germany. That's a big one for me. I have all over Europe. I have South America, obviously US and Canada. People from everywhere watch my content. And anyone who can understand English will listen to my content and get value from it. So you can genuinely serve the entire world and you can work anywhere whilst building this business. There's no limits. All you have to do is be able to sit down in a quiet place and record. I post a video a day on my main channel, and that's it. That's the fundamental starting point of this business, is posting content consistently. That is your number one priority if you want to build an audience and then be able to sell something to them. So now let's go into the next thing in terms of how you're actually going to do this. So what you need to do is you need to have some sort of transformation you've made in your own life that other people would want to buy as well. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. I know there's a lot of people like William Brown who built and sold a business for $30 million and now he helps personal brands scale and build their coaching business. He had that huge thing of what he'd accomplished, which allowed him to have tons of success with this quite easily. But it can be anything. Like me, I went from a shy, insecure kid who struggled with girls to being very confident, very outgoing, traveling the world, and getting with plenty of girls. And that is the transformation that I sell, is one of dating, confidence, social skills, personal development. That is what my channel is teaching and sells. That's the transformation that I sell. It can be skinny to jacked. It can be fat to fit. Whatever journey you've been on that other people will be able to relate to and who are in a similar situation you can help, that is what it all revolves around. You just need to be able to sell something that you have actually accomplished in your own life. And the beautiful thing, and this was a limiting belief of mine, is you don't need to start once you've actually accomplished the transformation. If this is something that you want to accomplish, you know in your heart, I want to be amazing with dating, or I want to be the most jacked guy. You can start documenting your journey and teaching other people what you're doing along the way. And they'll be able to resonate with you and see the transformation that you've made, and then be able to buy into it more, knowing that you're not lying, that you didn't come around and just take steroids, or that you've been good with girls your whole life, or whatever it is. They'll be able to really resonate with you, seeing you go on this entire journey and seeing that they can do it themselves. So that's the beautiful thing, is you don't have to be a master. You can start anywhere. If you know what you want to do, you can start there and just start posting content around what you're doing to achieve that goal and build an audience like that. Now, the next thing that is actually an amazing benefit of this is the level of personal development you will get by learning and teaching all the things you're doing yourself. So teaching is the highest form of learning. Every time I sit down to record a dating content video, I actually learn more about dating myself, because I have to think about the things that I'm going to teach. I have to break them down in a way that's understandable for other people to digest and apply to their life, allowing me to understand it further. So as I dive into more and more in-depth concepts, I'm actually learning at a higher degree myself. And then I'm also practicing what I'm preaching and being extremely accountable, because if I'm telling everyone to talk to every attractive girl they see, I have to be the one leading in the front of the army, talking to every attractive girl that I see, so they have someone to aspire to be like. So it makes you extremely accountable. One thing I noticed is I was doing well with girls. For example, like relating this to my main channel, I was doing well with girls the last 2 or 3 years. But recently, after like having built this audience, I talk to genuinely so many more girls because I just feel like I have to. Like I have this whole community who's listening to all my advice. How can I not apply what I'm teaching them and say like, it doesn't matter, just go talk to that girl, and they, I'm telling them to do this. How can I not do it myself? So it allows you to be extremely accountable and make even more progress in this topic, which you're interested in. So it just makes things work so much better and allows you to develop at such a quicker rate and get to the end goal of whatever it is you want so much faster anyway. So it serves as this dual benefit. It's like you're going to advance yourself and you're going to be able to learn and teach others, which only serves you as well. And the last thing in terms of a business standpoint is you are playing in a category of one. There's very few businesses that have no competition, and a personal brand is one of them. So yes, there's going to be, like for example, with my main channel, there's going to be other dating coaches out there, some of them with a bigger audience. But if you resonate with my story, with the things that I preach and teach, which is unique because I only know my experience, I only talk about my stuff, I don't watch other content, so everything I speak is authentic, then there's only me to work with if you like my transformation. You can't go over to some other guy and be like, oh yeah, I want that transformation that Seb sells. It doesn't work like that. So once someone is bought into you as a person, there's nowhere else to go. It's only you. If they want to work with you, there's only you. It's not like they can get, the same service anywhere else. It doesn't work like that. So you get an extremely loyal audience who's only going to want to work with you. And everyone ends up having their favorite influencer. Like this is something I've noticed stands true. There's always someone's favorite. Like for example, I have my favorites. I'll mention them. I love Hamza helped me with self-development. Jack Hopkins just came around when Hamza came around, and I just started to watch him, and he was just a cool guy talking about masculinity. So I just watch him for that reason. And Tate's a G, so I watch Tate, and he's just funny. So those are my favorites who I always go back to and watch. And it's like you have your favorites who you would want to work with above everyone else. Now, whether their product is exactly in line with what I want, it's not exactly like what Hamza's selling, I don't necessarily want. But in the end of the day, there's certain, influencers who you're going to be connected to, and you can be that for someone else. And they're going to want to work with you. There's going to be plenty of people in the audience who wants to work with you. And it doesn't take many when you sell high ticket to make an amazing living off of it. So you really embrace that playing in the category of one, and it is super, super powerful. So that is why I believe that personal branding is the cheat code to financial freedom. If you want to live the life that I have been preaching on my main channel, or if you don't know, I just travel the world. I get with girls. I live financially free. I prioritize my self-development, my gym, and I love to work and build my business and my personal brand. If you want to live a life like that, then book in a free coaching call down below where we can discuss how I can help you do this exactly for yourself as well. That's completely for free once again. Just go ahead and book that down below and we can chat.